What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to NoLifeTilMetal. Going to be doing a NoLifeTilMetal records and graphics update. I'm going to start off with getting closer to the release of Deliverance, Breeding of Death. So we have the CD, which is done, waiting for the vinyl to be finished so that they can ship, because a lot of people want them together. And of course, we also did the cassette tape, which is also done, ready to ship. The test pressing is here and it is approved, and we're just waiting any day. You know, we're waiting for the finals to be shipped, so it should be out and shipped well before the release date to those who pre-ordered it. So you still have time to get pre-orders in if you're interested in pre-ordering this. They still have the package up, the special deal for all three, you know, cassette, CD, and vinyl if you're interested in that. Sounds fantastic. Has the entire Breeding of Death demo, and then of course it has the two bonus tracks which I've told you about before, and Space Called You and Attack, which is also on the CD. Those two coming off of the 1986, I think it was 86, 87 California Metal compilation. So anyhow, early Deliverance stuff, that's coming out on Retroactive Records, and again I did do the graphics for that, and very happy with how it came out so far. It's on a beautiful uncoated stock. Can't wait to see the finished vinyl. Next up are three. One is on Rocks Records, and that's this one. And this is a cover design of my own, and I'm very happy with how this one came out. This is RedSea's Blood. Front cover, back cover, new logo, completely new cover, and recreated the back with all four members for whatever reason. In the original logo that looks similar to this, they only had the two main members. Like, I don't know if you can call them main members, but the two guys were only listed on there because the other two were actually, like, I guess, part of other bands. Badlands at that point was Jeff Martin and Greg, what's his name? Dang it, can't remember his name. Bass player. No, I got it. Anyhow, so we included all four members because it's the only album they ever released. It was written and recorded by these four guys, so why wouldn't you have all four guys on there? Alright, so anyhow, here's the insert, which is, and there's, let's see, bass player Greg Chason, Greg Chason from Badlands, as well as Jeff Martin. She's pictured up in the top corner, also from Badlands. And then you've got Robin Kyle Basari, who's just a phenomenal singer, sang with Joshua and Die Happy. And then you've got Chris Howe down here, of course, from Fear Not. And I wish he was on other bands too in that. For some reason, I just get mental block because I think of Chris is actually. This is actually just a stage name. Chris Howe is actually Chris Howe Sorensen, and he's for some reason I just immediately think Fear Not. And I know that wasn't the only band he was in, but that's just the one that comes to my mind immediately. So, but anyhow, yeah, it came out really nice. Full color inserts, black vinyl or red vinyl. It's supposed to be blood red, and it's got kind of a little bit of black marbling to it. But yeah, as always with Rocks, so we have the Rocks logo on one side and then the custom label on the other side. Very happy with how this one looks. The test pressing sounded fantastic. I haven't actually been able to spin this one yet because it literally just came in yesterday afternoon. So, and today is just a lazy Sunday, so I thought I would get and show you guys these while we're just kind of lounging around a little bit today in the house. Next up, this is one that I've been wanting on vinyl for a very long time, and I'm so glad that it was being released on my own label. This is Mass Fighter, recorded in 1982 with legendary producer Tom Allman, who of course is known for his work with Def Leppard and Black Sabbath and Judas Priest. Matter of fact, he recorded most of the Judas Priest albums in the 80s, up and through, actually in the 70s and the 80s, up through, I think, 1980, 88, 87, what was their last album they did in 87? Turbo, and then after that was, that's the one that escaped my mind. So he did all those albums, every single one of them for Priest. Anyhow, he recorded this in 1982 with them, and imagine this is around the same time that he recorded Def Leppard's On Through the Night and Judas Priest's Screaming for Vengeance. So he also worked on this around that same time. It was originally recorded for A&M Records, and for whatever reason management issues, the album was shelved and not released until finally 2010, and now it's finally available for the first time ever on analog format, which is awesome, coming off the original analog tapes on vinyl and CD. I don't have the CD yet. The CD actually, for the first time ever, the CD is still waiting, but it should be, I should have it in a day or two, and I will show that again. But yeah, the CDs actually got bonus tracks. They had an entire album worth of alternative mixes and songs that didn't get released on the album that we put onto the end of the CD, which is really cool. And they all came off of the original master tapes, which we had to get baked and, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. Dude, we got baked. Yeah, anyhow, we baked the tapes, and it was a very exciting process on this one, because a lot of times all we have is digital files, but this time we had the original analog files. So this is the analog recording, the analog mix. Mastered by Rob Caldwell just recently, and let's see, we got the insert inside here. It is a black and white insert, which was intentional, not a money-saving deal. I just liked the overall black and white look of the cover, although there is a little bit of color in it, obviously, but I just wanted to keep that theme going for the entire thing. It is also available in two colors, black and white. So there's the custom centering, and then the NoLifeTilMetal hand logo on the back, the metal fist. So very cool, and I'm really happy with how the test pressing sounded. I have yet to hear this one again, because it just came in last night, and I haven't Sunday morning, so basically I've done nothing but slept since then. Yeah, very cool. Mass Fighter 1982 release, and then finally a brand new release from Helix, old school, also on the NoLifeTilMetal label. Cover design by the one of the original guitar players from Helix, Brian Dormer. I don't know if I'm saying his last name correctly or not. And he designed the cover for the CD. I had to recreate the cover for the vinyl, because it was the original cover was built at about 300 DPI at the 4.75 square size for the CD. So when blowing it up to this size, yeah, it was going to be rather pixelated looking, and I just can't have that. It just drives me crazy. I want it to look the best it can. So I basically recreated it. It's nearly identical. You probably won't be able to tell the difference unless you really, really spend some time studying it. But yeah, I recreated it, and it's identical. And then the back is laid out by myself, and I kind of went with the chalkboard look here, which I thought was cool. The handwritten band names and the handwritten on this chalkboard song titles, and as well, to follow along with that theme, the chalkboard insert with liner notes by vocalist Brian Balmer, and it basically explains the entire album, what it's all about, and then the lyrics on the backside also on that chalkboard kind of look. Very cool album. Recorded brand new with the current lineup. And as you may know, back in 1992, guitarist Paul Hackman, who was one of the main songwriters in Helix, passed away in a bus accident when the band was touring, and he's been gone since then. Well, recently, vocalist Brian Balmer is moving, and he was cleaning out the attic, and he found a bunch of old tapes, reel-to-reel, whatever, cassette tapes, whatever he found. Was going to just throw them away, thinking they're just junk, but somebody convinced him that he should probably check and make sure what's on those tapes before he throws them away. I believe that was Mr. Godovitz from Gatto, who convinced him to check it out. Well, what he found was a treasure trove of old songs written by himself and Paul Hackman back in the 80s, and basically forgotten about. Tracks that were never officially recorded for any album, was just demoed material that they basically forgot about. So they took all those songs, 10 of them in total, and re-recorded them with the current lineup, but somehow on 3 of the tracks they managed to salvage Paul's guitar solos and some of Paul's guitar work, and so 3 tracks feature his guitar work, and 7 of the tracks, of the 10 tracks, are written by Paul Hackman. So very cool. That's why they call it old school. It's old songs from the 80s that they had written back in the 80s that were never recorded, and finally recorded with a new lineup. So it's got that classic Helix sound. Brian sounds as good as he ever has. I think the lineup they have now is incredibly solid. So yeah, this is just a great record. Again, available on 2 different colors, black. And in the US, we only have 100 black and 50 of these cream colored vinyls. Cream colored vinyl. And again, custom centering, the chalkboard looking NoLifeTilMetal logo on the back. Tries to keep that theme going throughout. And yeah, I'm very happy with how it came out. It looks fantastic. Once again, haven't heard this pressing, but I did do the test pressing and it sounded great. So there you have it. That's what's coming out on NoLifeTilMetal Records. All of it's already available at the NoLifeTilMetal Records web store if you're interested in purchasing any of it. Either way, I'm glad that you watched, and appreciate everybody supporting the label and this channel. And that's about it for this edition of NoLifeTilMetal Update. I'll have another one very soon. God bless. Stay strong.